former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. We are talking after you just cleared the AJC candidate forum tonight. Thanks for making the time.
Oh, I'm glad to chat with you.
So let's start here. Democrats had a big night both here in Georgia last night, Tuesday night, and in races across the country in Virginia, New Jersey, New York City. How do those results impact how you are thinking about your campaign moving forward?
Well, it's a big morale boost for Democrats across the country, but I mean, I've always believed that we would win again in this state, and it's great to see that that was confirmed in such a huge way last night. 20 points, I believe, what was the spread? I don't know what the final tally was, but it was the excitement of people turning out for a PSC race, which we don't normally see that type of excitement. But people across the state are talking about this issue of affordability and how since Donald Trump has been in office, things have gotten even worse for people across the state. So affordability has been top of mind. That's what we're hearing across the state. And then people actually got to exercise their voices through their votes. And that's what we saw in those results.
Let's talk about affordability. It may not surprise you to hear that you are not the first Democratic candidate to bring up the issue of affordability in our conversations tonight, but I get the sense that it is an important one for you and your campaign. A lot of Georgians are struggling with the cost of living right now, and I'm sure if they had the chance to ask you, they would ask you this. If you're elected governor, what will you do to make living in Georgia more affordable?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we've got to address is our affordable housing crisis in this state. This is something I'm hearing from Atlanta to Augusta to Albany, that people are talking about the cost of housing. And it is not just an urban issue. They're talking about how much they're paying in utilities. So the governor has the opportunity, one, to focus on making sure that people have access to low interest financing, making sure they have access to grants for first time home buyers and things like that to help make buying a home more affordable. Also cracking down on corporate landlords. We've got corporate landlords in this state who aren't being held accountable. They're buying up entire communities in some instances, not being responsive to people who are renting. And also making it extremely difficult, again, for people to afford their homes. So that's one way that we can tackle it, but also looking just at prices across the state in general. I mean, we just saw there was an increase in park fees. In the midst of all that's happening with our economy, the state of Georgia just went up on park fees. So there are a lot of opportunities, big and small, for us to take a look at this affordability issue and really make a dent.
Let me ask you two last questions. We always want to be respectful of your time, especially, and my watch battery died, so I don't know what time it is, but it feels like it's late. The sun's gone down. We're outside the AJC candidate forum. They just released a recent poll of likely Democratic voters in the gubernatorial primary. You were out in front, and I'm opening my notebook because I want to get it right. I think you had 40% support. At this moment in time, you're out way in front. Do you feel like a front runner right now?
No, I'm running like I'm 20 points behind. You can never get comfortable with polls, and it's not over until it's over. The goal is not to have a great poll showing. The goal is to win. And it's not enough to win the nomination. We have to win in November to truly make a difference in the lives of people across the state. So I'm grateful for the polling. I'd rather be me. But it means that we got to keep working, and we're going to keep working like we're 20 points down.
Let's talk about the general election and electability. I want to read something that one of your Democratic primary opponents said in a conversation earlier tonight. Former State Senator Jason Estevez accused you of, and I'm paraphrasing, but essentially abandoning the city of Atlanta when you chose not to run for a second term. How do you respond to that criticism from a fellow Democrat in this primary?
Yeah, that's really rich coming from someone who's quit twice in the middle of his term. So I didn't abandon the city of Atlanta. I completed my term, leaving the city with $180 million in the bank. Didn't raise property taxes. We created a child savings account for public school kindergartners across our city. We gave historic pay raises to our police and firefighters. We increased our affordable housing stock by 7,000 units, created or preserved 7,000 units of affordable housing. We negotiated the largest real estate transaction in the history of the southeastern United States with the Gulch, now known as Centennial Yard. So I have a record that I'm really proud of. I completed my term as mayor, running through the tape. And so, I was elected to a 4-year term. That's the term that I served, and made the decision not to seek a second term from a position of strength, not weakness.
Maybe a foreshadowing of some of the lines of tension in this primary campaign between you and the opponents trying to maybe bring you down in this polling. There's always so much we can talk about. I think this is a good time to end it, though, because I know you've got a dash. Former Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.